Yeah, I just don't. I haven't from day one been into the fact of, talking about private things that went on in the royal family when they were a part of it. And the thing is, it's just their point of view. We haven't had the other point of view. And it's like, don't bring it to the public. Nobody wants to know about it. Every family has problems. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
And I just think that from day one, they've handled it very badly. And you know what? They wanted their freedom. They have it. But they want more than just their freedom. They want to be two very important people politically.
Yeah, but they want the royal...
Okay.
Take it easy. But I think if they keep poking their nose into American and political affairs and the Constitution and so on, it's not going to end well. I can tell them that. I want to talk to you also about...
It's like I was just going to say, he's only been here 2 minutes and he wants to run the country. It's like, hold on.
It's completely absurd. Talking about Dave Chappelle. So Dave Chappelle, I don't know if you've been following this, but he did this big Netflix special. He told some trans jokes. Some people thought it was funny, including trans people. Other people, including other...
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
Trans people hated it, wanted him cancelled. Netflix stood by him. But he was due to play in a gig in Minneapolis yesterday, and they cancelled it, the organisers, at the last minute, and issued this ridiculous, pompous statement about how, they hadn't been aware that it wouldn't be a safe space for employees and so on. What do you make of it? It comes at a time when John Cleese actually has come out with an interesting comment about the threat to comedy at the moment from this cancel culture. Here's what John Cleese had to say.
A lot of comedians now are sitting there, and when they think of something, they start thinking, could I get away with that? I don't think so. So-and-so got into trouble when he said that, or she said that. You see what I mean? And that's the death of creativity.
And I think look, I'm not a big fan of John Cleese, to be honest, these days. He's a bit of a miserable old bore and he can't stand me, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh, I love him.
Wait for it.
Love him.
Well, we'll agree to disagree about him. I'll probably get on fine with him, actually. If you're watching, John, come and do an interview. But here's the statement that really made me puke. The Dave Chappelle show tonight at First Avenue has been cancelled. To staff, artists in our community, we hear you. We are sorry. We know we must hold ourselves to the highest standards. We let you down. We're not just a blank box with people in it. We understand First Avenue is not just a room, but meaningful beyond our walls. The team and you have worked hard to make our venues the safest spaces in the country.
Stop it.
And we'll continue with that mission. We believe in diverse voices and the freedom of artistic expression, but in honouring that, we lost sight of the impact this would have. I mean, what a load of old guff. Right? What they really mean is, we are going to decide what you're allowed to find funny. That's it.
It's ridiculous. It's, again, a case of freedom of speech. This man is a brilliant writer, a brilliant comic, and when you watch him, he just doesn't tell silly jokes one after the other to try and offend. It always goes along with a story, and there's always the beginning, middle, and end, and it always comes around to, well, what do you think about it? This is what I think, and he...
Wait for it.
...does it superbly.
The point is, he's not
Listen,
transphobic.
If we can't...
He's not transphobic, but he thinks you should be able to tell. You should be able to tell jokes about trans people, like we tell jokes about everybody. And actually, they're funny as jokes.
Of course.
Here it comes.
And the thing is, if there are many trans people that he offends, it's very, very simple. Don't watch.
Yes.
Turn it off. Go and watch something else.
Fact.
But there are also millions of people that love him, that do want to watch him. I'm one of them. I think he's a genius.
Oh, no question.
But the thing is, it's like, it's simple. Why do people make such a big deal about, you know what he does, you know what he's famous for, don't watch it. Simple.
I think if we can't tell inappropriate jokes anymore, you and I are going to have to go and live on a desert island somewhere with Ozzy.
Oh, God, we might as well live in bloody Russia. I mean, if you can't laugh, right? you've got to laugh. You know, you've got to have irony. You've got to laugh with the state of the world right now. If you can't go out or watch something at home that's funny, what are we going to do?
Do you know what I read the other day? Was that there's lots of WhatsApp groups now that everybody's on where inappropriate jokes are told because it's in secret. And I thought, how incredible, what a damning indictment of our society. In a way, it is a bit like Russia or North Korea.
Okay.
Or China, where people feel they have to go underground to crack a joke in case somebody's upset and you end up losing your job or your livelihood.
Exactly. I mean, all the time people send me things and I'm like, where the
Wait for it.
hell did you find that? You know, and some of them are funny, some of them aren't, but it's like, who the hell is making all this stuff? But some of it is very funny.
Sharon, fantastic.
And, you know, it's humour.
Of course it's humour.
Go on.
Sharon, great to talk to you. Send Ozzy my best. Tell him I'm sorry he bottled it, but as soon as he grows a pair, get on this show and be uncensored for me. He owes me one, all right?
He owes you big time, and I'm going to tell him he's got to...
Okay, I'm listening. You have my attention.
Come on and do a river dance for you.
Yes, he has. I look forward to seeing him very soon. Sharon, great to talk to you. I'm so glad the old man's back on his feet. I know how worried you've been as a family. He is indomitable. He's indestructible. And
oh, my God!
Unfortunately, he's not on the show. But we will see him soon. Sharon, great to see you.
All right.
All the best.
Loves you.
Fact.
Well, I've seen it. Harry and Meghan's tell-all. Or at least tell what you think makes you look good.
That doesn't make sense.
And those are 3 hours I will never get back. What a boring, uninspiring, interminable waste of time.
Damn!
Believe it or not, this couple is still complaining. From the Montecito mansion with their 2 beautiful, perfectly healthy children, a little chicken coop and flower garden out back, matching Uggs for Meghan and her toddler, all royal titles still intact, complete with matching stationery, and nearly $200 million in the bank thanks to their insatiable desire to finally tell their story. Like to Oprah, and on Spotify, and in New York Magazine, and in a memoir, and, well, you get the point. They have to do it, you see, because no one knows the whole story. No one.
This has always been so much bigger than us. No one knows the full truth. We know the full truth.
Stop it. Get some help.
The institution knows the full truth, and the media know the full truth because they've been in on it.
Okay, so Harry and Meghan know, and the entire royal family knows. And the press, who informs the public, they know. And the guy at the Sunoco, he knows. And the waiter at Olive Garden, he knows too. And that's all. That's all that knows.
Okay.
No one else knows the full truth. So they have to finally tell it. Okay. And what is their chief complaint, pray tell? It appears to be that the press has occasionally been not nice to Meghan Markle.
Okay, I'm listening. You have my attention.
After months of ubiquitous fawning coverage that made her a household name. Some then said nasty things, like calling her the C word, and the B word, and the other B word. And you know what, Meg? Been there. Quick reminder.
Megyn Kelly's really biased against me. Do you really think she can be fair at a debate?
Which set off a new torrent of tweets.
80,000 tweets directed towards Megyn Kelly. Vocative broke it down to see what the most popular words. Crazy Megyn Kelly.
Crazy,
bimbo.
overrated.
Bimbo blonde.
Bimbo Megyn Kelly.
Hooker.
Can't watch Crazy Megyn anymore.
Donald Trump and his arch nemesis Megyn Kelly are making peace.
Signs of a truce this morning between
their
Trump
feud
and
apparently diffused.
You met with Megyn Kelly today. How did that go?
Stop it. Get some help.
Good times. And let me tell you what I've learned. Over time, the nastiness dies down, and you learn to rise above. You learn to look at your beautiful life and to focus on that, not what strangers write about you in the press. The sun keeps rising in the east, and your loving life goes on.
Nice.
No matter what people tweet or print about you. As King Charles once said, And I know you've seen this because it's in your series. You let this stuff take hold of you at your peril.
I am the one, the way your son don't need.
If you don't try to work out in your own mind some kind of method for existing and surviving this kind of thing, you would go mad, I think.
Here we go again.
Obsessing over the negative pieces for 5+ years is another way to go. Constantly playing the victim despite the enormous gifts you've been given.
Okay, I'm listening. You have my attention.
But this is not healthy, nor is it particularly attractive. And newsflash, it has the added effect of making people dislike you, thus feeding the demand for even more negative press.
Boring.
The people this pair is asking to feel sorry for them have their own problems, real ones. They live paycheck to paycheck for the most part. They have kids in public schools where they worry about depression or drugs and crazy teachers. They work all day. They're tired. They need a vacation that they're probably not going to get, and they don't have a closet full of designer dresses, never mind stylists surrounding them for major black tie events, as we see in this piece.
Fact.
They live in small houses or maybe an apartment. They keep a watchful eye on the rising gas and electric bills, the cost of groceries, as they try to save for college and still give their kids a nice Christmas. Too often they're dealing with health issues or dependency or unexpected layoffs, and they certainly don't give a damn about the mean tweets being sent out about the Duke and Duchess of Sussex.
Okay.
One thing I did find interesting was the amount of emotional baggage Harry still carries. It's big. Good gracious, is this man insecure? Partly because he's a ginger. Yes, wait for it. And partly because he clearly has not worked out the trauma of his mother's premature death. Time and time again, I said to myself while watching this guy needed therapy.
I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. First of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
Not the weird tapping thing he did. A real psychotherapist. That is what he needed. Not a whiny, woke, annoying wife.
What? What the?
Listen to him describe how his family allegedly reacted when he introduced them to Meghan.
I remember my family first meeting her and being incredibly impressed.
So that was a lie.
Some of them didn't quite know what to do with themselves. Because I think they were surprised. Maybe surprised that a ginger could land such a beautiful woman and such an intelligent woman.
Are you sure about that?
That's not his family. That's him. And he's not wrong. Does anyone really think if he were Harry Jones instead of Harry Windsor, this beautiful, semi-known social climber would have given him the time of day? It is a bit shocking that she's with him, until you consider his title, fame, family, money, sort of, castles, staff, and access to fabulous things and people. That's what lured her in, clearly. Not Harry's red hair, and not his Mensa IQ either.
I said, wait a minute. Wait a minute. First of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
Just kidding, that's not a real thing. Remember when he called the First Amendment bonkers? This is no scholar. All of this is a downside of being a prince, I guess. And not even the heir, just the spare. Honestly, though, it's probably also a downside of being a Gates or a Jobs or a Zuckerberg or a Beckham or a Brady.
What do you mean by that?
But it does explain why she so easily leads him around now by his little red puppy dog ears.
Come on now, dog.
Top that off with her damsel in distress routine every time a tabloid or a tweet or an anonymous internet troll says something nasty about her, and you have the perfect cocktail for frustration, tears, and eventually Megxit. Here's Harry explaining how he was not going to let this become Diana 2.0.
I accept that there will be people around the world who fundamentally disagree with what I've done and how I've done it.
Fact.
But I knew that I had to do everything I could to protect my family.
Hi, Grandma. Yeah. Hi, Grandma.
Especially after what happened to my mum.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
That's your Grandma Diana. Yeah.
You know, I didn't want history to repeat itself.